Hi, this is Noreen Smith here with the Connected Voice Vocal Studio, theconnectedvoice.com, and today I wanted to talk to you about mixed voice. Before we go on, we should just talk about what is mixed voice. What even is that? So it's called mixed voice because it's not chest voice. It's not that muscle coordination where you speak. It uses more of the sensations of head voice and it originates in the head voice area, but it's not head voice. It's got a little more connection to the bottom, to chest voice. So it's a mix of head voice and chest voice, hence mixed voice. So for me, when I'm teaching a student who's just learning how to mix for the first time or just have never experienced it before, there are 4 very important steps that we follow. Some of these steps can take minutes and some of these steps can take a year. So, I mean, a year from no mix to they have mix now. So everyone's journey is different. It's hard to do a one-size-fits-all kind of one exercise, but this stepwise system generally does work for everybody unless they have some sort of vocal injury or pathology that's keeping us from a result. So the 4 steps that are very important. The first one is to release. The second one is connect. The third one is neutral larynx. The 4th one is to build strength. So I know I rushed through those. I'm going to stop and talk about them a little bit. So the first step is release. So if you don't have the skill to be able to go from chest voice into head voice and then back again to chest voice, you aren't going to be able to build mixed voice. That's because that's where it lives. You have to be able to eventually go from chest into mix and back again. So what I mean by that is if you do a scale, can you get back into chest voice? So I'll do it right first. So if I'm doing it on O sound, do you go, and now I'm going to go chest, release into head, and back to chest. Do you go ooh, or you might notice your body wants to hold on to chest voice the whole time. Ooh, and it's just going to squeeze and get tighter. You'll feel your neck go up and your chin go up and your neck get tight and it feels squeezy. Or do you do it all in head voice? Or the other option that I often hear is people that can go chest in head voice, but then they go back down and they don't make it to chest voice. They go ooh, chest, ooh, head, ooh, when they stay in head voice. So ideally, we want to go chest, head, chest. Ooh. And being able to release and go back and forth from chest to head voice is and to be able to get back into chest on the way down is the first step you need to be able to do in order to build a mixed voice from scratch, if this is something you haven't done before. Okay, now for the exercise to help release. So something that will encourage the voice to start in chest, release into head, and get back into chest is the word woo, W-O-O. So the w sound gives you a little bit of connection. It tends to want to pull you back into chest voice a little bit, but the oo vowel, the voice will tend to want to go into head voice. So it gives you that kind of anchor and release and anchor. So if I was, so ladies could start here and gentlemen could start down there and join in whenever you feel like your voice has found its place. And if it gets too high, you can take a break. If it gets too low, then just drop out for a moment. So if we're gonna do woo, we're gonna go woo, 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 woo. Make sure you get back into chest voice at the bottom. For men, you're all in chest voice still. if you're there, you're all in chest voice still. You haven't had to release yet. So we're gonna go back up. And you'll notice that your nervous system might want to tighten up at the very top. And you'll notice one of the telltale signs of that will be if you hear the vowel changing. So if you're able to keep the exact same vowel all the way through, just exact same shape, the woo woo woo, you might notice that it wants to go woo 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 woo. So if it changes to wah or wah at the top, then we've got some tightening happening and we're not fully releasing. Okay, so now we're at the point where, gentlemen, that top note is going to possibly want to be in head voice. So I want you to see if you can release even just that note. So everyone can join along, but this one's for the men. So we're gonna go release that top note. Same thing, this one, just release the top note. And now it'll be the top two. Back to chest. And again. Good. Same, just the top two. And now, getting a little close, you could release the top three, but we're getting a little closer. Here we go. And here you want to release all the top three. So chest, head, chest. And again, chest, head, chest. Okay. Okay, let's take it down. So ladies, you'll be up here. This is where we left off with the men, but you'll be up here. And again, make sure it doesn't go woo 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 woo. It doesn't change as you go higher. Keep that woo, that same vowel. All right. So the gentlemen, I left you here. So ladies, you sing here. Gentlemen, right here. So here we go, and woo 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 woo. Chest, head, chest. For men. Woo 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 woo. To what the ladies are doing at that point. So ladies, our voices are built a little bit differently. So you're going to be getting into head voice a lot sooner than the men are. So if you start here, the same spot, your possibly top three notes right off the bat are going to be in head voice. The G is negotiable. It can kind of sit in a couple places. So woo 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 woo. So I want you to watch to see if you're starting in chest voice, releasing into head voice, and then getting back down, grounded into that speaking voice on the bottom, and releasing woo to the head voice on the top. So I'm just going to talk the ladies through this little area. So chest, head, chest, we're getting to a point where maybe we're going to be starting to get into head voice a little bit earlier. So, woo, 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 woo. And definitely here. Woo, 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 woo. And so you'll notice that, ladies, your head voice, I mean, there's no firm line where head voice has to start and chest voice has to end. It's very negotiable as long as it's not painful. But generally, for the average voice, women transition from chest voice to head voice around an A4. So we have C, middle C right here, and that's C4, and A4 is generally going to be where you start to transition. That's like the middle of the line. Again, it's negotiable at that point. You could push it, you know, a little further into with chest voice, or you could come back and bring head voice a little further down. Just depends on what you're doing musically and how you're expressing yourself. Gentlemen, generally your switch. Gentlemen, you can sing in chest voice almost exclusively and not have to go in to your head voice area, but it really, really limits you as far as what sort of repertoire, what sort of music you can do in musical genres. So you generally the average male voice, and again there are exceptions, will switch from transition from chest voice to head voice around an E flat above middle C, F above middle C. Again, it depends on how your voice, your instrument is uniquely made, but that's the average. So there you go. That is the first step to getting to mixed voice, surprisingly, is being able to completely release into head voice and get back down to chest voice. And again, it's because that is the area of head voice is where we're going to build mixed voice. And let me just show you really quickly the difference between if I was to sing a C above middle C, so this is C5. This is head voice. This is chest voice. For me, it's pretty high for chest voice. It's not going to feel good, but is chest voice, and mixed voice will end up like this, which kind of sounds a lot more like chest voice, but it doesn't feel like chest voice. It definitely feels more like the head voice area. So there's your beginner's guide, step 1, release, to finding your mixed voice for people who're learning it for the first time.